Okay, I'm working in Adobe Animate, and I want to take a look at how would we go about having a brick, a rectangular prism, fall off of a surface, fall off of a table. Now, if you're working in Flash, everything will be the same. So just to begin, what is my file? So I went to File, New, and I set up my file 550 by 400, ActionScript 3.0. I put my frame rate at 24 frames per second. Now, in this video, we're going to look at working with symbols, pivot points, the transform tool, keyframes, and onion skins to create this animation. So here goes. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start with layer 1. And what I want to do is I want to create the surface, the background, that will be from where the object will fall. So I'm going to grab the rectangle tool and I am going to create a surface. Now I want to have this selected, and as I come on in, I want to change the color. So I'm going to come on in, and there we go. So we have this right in here. Okay. So now this is my first layer, and what I want to do is I want to actually lock this layer. Now eventually I'll have to put the frames in, but I'm going to show you that one in a minute. My next step will be to create a new layer. I could name this layer. I could say that this is the layer that has the rectangle on it. Now, what I want to do now is I want to add my rectangle, which is going to be what we're thinking of being a brick that's going to fall off. So what I want to do is I'm going to come on up and I am going to get another rectangle. Now, I do want to I don't want to have a stroke on. So let's see, what I want to do is come on in over here and turn the stroke off. Excellent. Before I do this, I can just come on in, I can change the color, and we'll go for this color right in here. So I'm going to grab my rectangle tool again, and I'm going to come on in and create my rectangle. Excellent. Now, as I'm looking at this, I'm feeling like I want to actually change the shape of this table so I can have a larger area from which my brick will fall. Okay, now, in order to change the size of this, I need to unlock my layer, and I'm going to come on in, and I want to grab my free transform tool, and I can change the size of this shape. So there we have it. I can bring it on up, maybe even make it a little bit smaller. Beautiful, like that, a lot better. And I can move it on over. Perfect, that's where I would like it to be. Now I'm going to click onto here and move this down and over as well. And you can see that as I click onto the different layers that my object comes in where it needs to be. All right, so there we have it. Again, I'm going to come back in and I am going to lock my layer. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to start having this object, and I want to animate it through keyframes. So step 1 is I'm going to convert it to a symbol. Now for this one, I'm actually going to convert it to a movie clip, and I'm going to come on in, I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to name it Brick. Beautiful. I can see that it then appears in my library, and I know that it is a movie clip. Now I want to start animating this object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on out to here, and I'm going to hit F6. And what happens is it creates a new keyframe. So, but the problem is that this layer doesn't extend out. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to unclick this, and I'm going to come out to here, and I'm going to come Insert Timeline Frame. Now I'm going to end up making this smaller, but I just want to have those frames there, so when this starts to move, this object moves with it. So I have frame 1, I skipped a frame, give it a little bit of time, come to my next frame. Now I want it to start to rotate. So I can again come and grab my free transform tool. I can start moving this. Now, this is the problem though. Our brick there's a pivot point. The pivot point of the rectangle is in the center. I want to move this pivot point, because if I look at how an object like a brick moves and how it would fall, it would actually rotate from the bottom right corner. So I'm going to come on up to Edit, Undo Rotate, and I am going to move my pivot point. So I am going to hold down Option or Alt, and I'm going to click, and I am going to move the pivot point to the corner. Excellent. And I'm going to hover and start the rotation of this brick. Excellent. I'm going to leave this right here. I'm going to come out 2 more frames. I'm going to hit F6 to insert another keyframe, and I am going to start this motion again. Excellent. I'm going to come on out 2 keyframes, hit F6 again, hit this motion again. I'm going to let this one, it's going to move a little bit faster. It's going to hit like this. And we know once it hits, then this part will start to move up. So I'll have to move my pivot point one more time. I'm going to come to out 2 more, hit F6. Okay, so as I think about how this is going to continue to move, I'm going to come out 2 more frames, again, hit F6 and continue. So I'm going to come on in over here. Now, what would happen though, right? This object would have to move, it would bounce from the table, and it would start to, again, I want to get the rotate, it would start to come on down. Okay, now let's watch this. Let's go on back and let's take a look. We can hit. Okay, so there we have it so far. I'm going to keep on going. Again, F6. And we can say it starts to fall, and then we can even have it start rotating down this way. F6, I think you're getting the idea. Bringing it on down. And again, we can come on in. What's really great about working with just our keyframes is we can, each keyframe is its own thing, right? So we can just keep coming in and changing them up as we need them. Oops, okay, sorry. So I need to come out 2, hit F6. All right, I'm going to bring this on down. As it starts to come down now, what I want to happen is I want this side to hit first, poof. And then what will happen is the next side will hit. All right, let's rewind and let's watch. Okay, so now in order for this to match up, I'm going to come out to my last keyframe right here, and I am going to hit F6. Now I have extended my animation to match what's going on both. So I'm going to hit play one more time. There we have it. An animation working with symbols, pivot points, transform tool, keyframes. Now, I didn't go over onion skins. So what is onion skins? As we continue to work, we can turn on the onion skin. And the onion skin is going to be right here. So what I can do is I can extend this on out as I'm working, and I can see the way that the brick is falling. So this is a very important tool. We really simplified this, looking at one object falling off another. But as we really want to imitate how an object falls from space, we could do a sketch of a drawing and really watch something happen and think about it in terms of an onion skin. So there we have it. Thanks so much for listening.